Rolling.
We just finished finally attaching our rails. We first just screwed them in with, I don't know if you see that, with those screws. Those are kind of like self-locking screws. They have some rubber stuff on there.
They're the ones that came with the rails. Their instructions said just to use those.
Wow. Yeah, but then we figured, maybe not the best, so we switched to bolts on, yeah, 4 screws per rail. So we have like 2 different rails, the short one and the big one. Here's gonna be a deck where I'm sitting right now. I did prime the hole for the bolts with just some metal primer. Let it dry, and now it's all screwed in. I'm still gonna put some silicone on there, just, you know, to prevent any moisture getting there and rust happening, and yeah, just trying to be as good as possible, and we won't have to access those screws for a long time anyway, right?
Yeah, and silicone might even help lock the nut down. I mean, we got nylock nuts and we put Loctite on them, but
on most of them
everything helps.
Yes, this is definitely like a good cheap option for like roof rack things, because yeah, most roof racks are like at least what, $300 or so, especially for sprinters. So those proline racks, I think in total were, was it? That's how it looks now. Very pretty. Just basically squished it around with my finger, and yeah, that's how all the screws look like, or bolts or whatever. Yeah, this is a screw. And this is a bolt. I could not really get to that, but I tried anyways. Just to show you how we attached those solar panels. Yeah, we have a 7/16 bolt here, and this is a 1/4, and there's like a locking washer underneath there and all that stuff. So yeah, we have a bolt here. This one, the furthest one, is under a beam, so we couldn't access that one and are not having a bolt there.
Yeah. We didn't find a lot of information about different ways that you can mount things to them. Ended up finding these square nuts that are
in our local hardware store.
That are
hardware store.
that are 7/16, and this is the only nut that we found that worked.
It's kind of like big enough.
So the square nut, which allows you to screw into it and it won't turn, so you can tighten a bolt into it.
We just like fit everything together, and since you cannot really fit this in while the locker end is on there, we already put those in, and yeah, and then there's gonna be some like aluminum bar and then some wooden slats, something like that. So this is just like a placeholder for later. This is pretty solid. We actually have to remove it again to put lap sealant all along the rails and like where the screw holes. Kevin loves this.
I hate this.
It's gonna look
It's everywhere.
great.
I feel like a kid with frosting on their cake for their birthday.
Yep.
So less excited.
Is it actually like sealing though? Yeah. It's not just next to it.
Maybe we don't need to do all of them like that.
It's so beautiful. This is like right underneath a beam, which we could not access at all, and we don't want to have those metal shards or shards. What is it?
Shards.
Shards. Yeah, we're really scared of metal shards every time we screw into metal. Because it's bad. It's bad for you. Some people don't care, but we're just over careful. I don't know.
Because of the rust.
And yeah, this is how it looks. This one is a little bit of a tight fit there, but we wanted the cords and all that stuff to go into the roof where our upper head, whatever, bless you, upper head cabinets are, so it looks nicer and we don't see that. Yeah, so that's it for now. And in case you're curious what these are exactly, we just got those from Home Depot. It was kind of like a lucky find in like the section where all the lumber is and stuff, kind of like construction material stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna put in a picture so you can see the number I did. Like maybe $4 a piece?
I think less.
Less?
I'm pretty sure less.
I would say probably $4 a piece. And they had like a 1/4-inch hole there and a bigger hole there, so we didn't have to like make those holes bigger, which was very handy. We couldn't find any of those C brackets anywhere, at least not like readily available. It gives a nice clearance because if the solar panel is too close to the roof, that will reduce the efficiency of it. Let's hope that's all for the best. Show me how square it is. Yay! But it's just a battery box. Well, wheel well box for the battery. So the battery is gonna go on top, and all the electrical stuff is gonna get screwed into here. Just because it's probably a good idea, and many other people do it.
This is the final crimp. Well, final large crimp.
Oh God, I'm gonna botch it. It's too much pressure. Hold on.
Voila!
Focus! There we go. Now do your hillbilly.
Hillbilly heat shrink?
Yeah.
Hey guys. I'm just going to walk you through quickly the electrical system that we have set up, mostly set up. Just kind of go through the big elements. So basically, yeah, we have this 120 amp hour lithium battery.
Scream power!
Built this box to kind of hold everything. We have like foam and everything here to hold this battery in. Also our bed, we're gonna have large 2x4 beams going across right here, so, and like walls here, so that should all help to contain a potential flying battery in the event of an accident. Nothing is currently fully connected right now, but we made this ground spot right here where you basically just, we found an existing hole, right? Or did we drill a hole?
Yeah.
It was an existing hole. And we ground it down with a wire brush and sandpaper to expose bare metal. checked it with a multimeter to check that it is a good ground. So this is 2 gauge wire going to our negative bus bar. So yeah, we have 2 bus bars. These are kind of our main hubs. Everything connects to our main battery through these. So from here, our negative bus bar is attached to a shunt, which goes to the main negative terminal. The shunt will connect to our battery monitor. It's also connected here via this little red wire to the positive.
Where's our battery monitor?
It's not in here right now.
Shouldn't we have that before we start anything?
Before we plug anything in, yes. Yes, we should. But that just, the only missing part is it just plugs into a plug right here.
Oh, okay.
So also coming from the negative bus bar, this is the negative from the solar. This is the negative from our fuse box, where all the smaller DC things, well, our whole system is only DC, but all the smaller things will flow through here and have their own breaker or fuses. This thing has a black and a red.
Okay.
All the black ones go up here, and all the red ones will be down here.
And only the red ones are labeled, and the black ones are not. What? Shouldn't we also label the black wires for the device?
I mean, they're labeled here.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It just has to go to a ground. So basically, we're getting power from 2 sources, and those are solar panels and our starter battery using our alternator power. So we have a battery to battery charger mounted in the engine compartment, and there is a wire feeding through the firewall underneath the steering wheel.
This is where it comes through. And this is that smart battery isolator. Basically just velcroed on with very strong velcro just on top of the plastic of the battery. Oh yeah, this is connected to the handle of the battery and connected here. Yeah, this is, I don't know, the minus, the positive, I don't know. Kevin probably did it right.
Kind of down, crossing the van over by the front, and then kind of running along the edge here, coming up right here, where there's a fuse. This is a 40 amp fuse. Then feeding into this switch, and then going to the positive bus bar. Our other source of energy is solar. It's not completely hooked up right now. Coming to here, we have a 30 amp fuse because our solar charge controller is 30 amps. 30 amp fuse. Another switch. Solar charge controller. These are not going to be their final locations. This is a temporary mount because we're going to have cabinetry here, and these are going to sit somewhere in them. From the solar charge controller, I've got a breaker here, 40 amp breaker, which is then going into the positive bus bar. And again, our fuse box also has a 40 amp breaker, along with all the individual fuses in there, which are sized appropriately for the appliance that they will be using. That's about it. Our battery actually came with the option to plug into shore power, which is pretty cool. So it has its own wiring and everything for that, so we can just run an extension cord and plug in if we ever need to. I feel like we're probably not going to need to, but maybe we will.
Maybe.
Good option to have. We haven't fully connected everything yet, but
well, let's get the battery monitor and do it.
Yep.
Now he's connecting 1 solar panel. We're still waiting for the Y connector, so we can only connect 1 solar panel to the system. What are you doing? I don't see it.
It is done.
Ugh, shit. Ah, here. Good. Go out of the way. No, no. There it is.
Okay. Main switch is off. So.
Yeah, I guess first screw this on there.
Yeah. Connection will be made. I'm scared. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention this before. This is a big fuse. It's a 100 amp fuse. Just as a final precaution, if anything short circuits,
yeah,
it should stop
the more
a
fuses,
fire.
The better.
So when I turn this switch on, I think the solar charge controller should just power up
Okay.
on its own.
Even though the solar is not connected yet? Okay.
Yeah, it should get the power from the battery.
So you should never connect the solar panel to the solar charge controller before it is connected to the battery, right?
That's right.
Whew.
Powered on.
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard the heater also power on. Okay, 13
What does
volts.
it say?
That's,
Is that-
I think, the output of the battery.
Is that good? Is that high? Is that
25
low?
degrees Celsius.
Nothing
0
charging.
volts. That means 0 coming from the panel, which is correct because this switch is off. Should we try and turn the panel on?
Yes. Do that first.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Nice. It worked.
Sweet. Oh yeah, what does it say?
Oh, yeah, I think that must be what the fan's using right now. 9.1 amps. Turn it off.
No, I'm gonna turn it low on the lowest setting.
Okay. 6.9.
I'm connecting the solar panels now. This way?
Yep.
Or
If you want the arrow to point to the green.
it's really hard to.
Okay.
Ah, charging.
Oh yeah.
Charging.
13 volts.
That's how much is charging, or
No.
Oh,
there we go.
4 amps.
4.1 amps.
is that a lot?
I don't know. Now we gotta drive and check the battery to battery charging.
Uh-huh.
I mean, not now.
No, we cannot drive now. We got power!